Everyone, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Vine Panther Presents. We got Ryan Murphy up again as we discuss The Beauty. Season 1, probably be other seasons, I hope. Episodes 1 through 3 of an 11 episode series or miniseries, depending on how they want to do it. An outstanding show. Let me say that up front. I really enjoyed it, and I rarely say that. But there's definitely something you should be watching, and hope you watch us talk about it, and we can talk about it together. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. You can like on the video and comment on the video, and just enjoy our intro. And we say all that anyway. Let's do it.
Wait, I got to do it now. Wait. This is gonna be funny. Wait. You ready? I got to do it.
This is awesome. This is amazing. I love it.
It was psychological. It was emotional.
Extremely entertaining.
But as always, as we try to say here, as we said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. And as we talk about this video, please like on the video and comment on the video, and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Yes, I feel like Ryan Murphy did it again. Outstanding. I'm very engaged, and I feel like I'm watching Nip Tuck as I texted the crew. I feel like I'm watching the next evolution of what that story could have been easily. But anyway, Kim, we'll start with you. What did you think of the first 3 episodes so far?
I liked it. It was a different take on the obsession that we have in this world of beauty. So I thought that was him making it into a horror show. That's pretty ingenious. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's different. Like I've never really, except for the movie that we did, The Substance, right, with Demi Moore. Yes, that person did do that, right? But this one felt a little bit more cohesive. I felt like the portrayal was a lot better. The way it's being done is just, I don't know, more pleasing to the eye, even though they explode. It's crazy, but I don't know. I'm just a Ryan Murphy fan, so I'm just gonna. I just enjoyed it. I like the way they did it and his whole take on beauty. And like you said, Nip Tuck, that was the other side of it, right? Like how we are obsessed with what we look like, especially in certain areas, rich people mostly, right? Who are very obsessed. But then they also, in Nip Tuck, he was able to show just regular everyday people have obsessions about what they look like, right? And they were coming to them also, and trying to change this and change that, and thinking that if you change what you look like on the outside, it's going to change the inside, right? Because that's the whole thing. It doesn't. You have to heal that out the inside for the outside to project the way you need it to. You know what I'm saying? Changing yourself on the outside doesn't really.
It doesn't change who you are.
Yeah. Exactly. So I thought this is really well done. So.
And I thought, and to that point, and we'll Jemima real quick. To that point, I think Jeremy is a perfect example of that.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't matter on the inside. You are broken and you are angry, and and that violent. He killed people before he even turned. Like it wasn't even the kill. Like in that rage that he put out there, it doesn't change who you are on the inside just because you look good on the outside.
That's right.
And I thought he's a great testament to that particular thing.
For sure.
John, what do you think so far, sir?
Yeah. So I don't find it to be horror. I just find it to be science fiction. I'm like, I saw, the movie Outbreak, March 2020, when the pandemic first, shut shit down. And I was just like, science fiction. I wouldn't find it to be horror. So I'll put this like in that same category of just like science fiction. When it first started, was it the Bella Hadid thing? I was just like, what is this? Grand Theft Auto 6? Something like that. With her, racing the motorcycle and all that. I think that it is kind of inventive with the whole it being like HIV. They said it was like rabies, but I'm like, with rabies, people don't want to drink water as opposed to wanting to drink water. I think they got that scientifically wrong. But yeah, the first 2 episodes didn't really do all that much for me. I think it was a good thing that second episode was so short. Go right into that third episode, which is, the where all the goods are. And I'm like, Ryan Murphy obviously has the same opinion as me, or the people at Hulu, and can't believe to say Disney have the same, they was like, yeah, give them the 3 episodes, and then, that's a real debut to hook them week to week. And sure enough, the 3rd episode is what did it. I want to see some more about the Ashton Kutcher character, and but the assassin and Jeremy, yeah, they're the show for me. Like, they're the entertainment.
All right, I can see that. We got water, cocoon, and body explosions. That's a lot of stuff going on. The first opening scene I really enjoyed because it's not what you expected. The trailer was about, again, like stuff, beauty. How far would you go to look perfect? And you thought it'd be like a modeling world, or some actress who can't get her shit together, but this is gonna make her who she is. And we get damn near like Resident Evil to me is what I saw. Like, but that, like, she was possessed by, but she's boiling on the inside, and like she's killing people. Why is she violent? And then she got almost super strength, like she can recover quickly. And then ultimately the cops don't kill her, she just explodes. And I'm like, if you have no idea what you are watching, you're gonna keep on watching because you're like, what did I just get done watching? Like, how did we even get here? And I like how they kind of threw you into it. Evan Peters' scene in episode 2, which I also enjoyed, Cooper, as he's fighting off 2 dudes who are trying to kill him, and then like running through Paris. And when I saw it, I was like, this is like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Like, I think they probably used the same set because he was like running down the halls, and I felt like one of the second to last like Mission Impossible movies. And I was like, that was awesome. Like, that's a show. You can do a show just about that. He's international FBI investigator, but it's all connected because he's investigating these almost maybe terrorist attacks, and it's all connected. And I really like that scene. So if you're just here for the action, you got that. Like, you can. And then I like how they showed in episode 1 with the flashback about the pottery, about the Japanese man puts pottery together, that that Cooper is ex like Navy SEALs. Like, he was wearing a uniform, and I noticed it on his chest. So it's like, when you ask yourself the question, how can he fight like this? There's a reason. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, so you got to pay attention to see these kind of little things. So I thought that was awesome. But it really got Terry was just watching it, and she got her attention. And this is gonna sound weird, y'all. To me, this is more realistic than like Substance. Right? Same subject, but this seems more real. As I told you, my problem with Substance was, where did the drug come from? It's not just about women. Like, it's a bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? And this gives you that bigger thing, right? Like, you generally know where it comes from already, but you got to figure out that mystery. And it's a wide range of victims and that sort of thing. And they're all, and even the transformation makes more sense. You don't make a random ass clone copy of yourself. It's you. You become this new creature, and you live the life. And I'm like, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, so it fixes up the problems that I had with Substance. Hey everyone, the show was insane. Yes, it was like Substance, but far, far, far better. I saw one that was almost like complaining that Ryan Murphy stole the idea. He vastly improved on it. And it's not just that. It's like at least 2 other stories going on, because you got the criminal investigation going on, right? And then you got Jeremy's story going on. And that's a very different way of looking at something that's traditionally a woman issue, a older woman issue of like beauty. It's all about how you look. And at some point you don't look the same way. And do men go through that? And to see Jeremy's like dramatic transformation of just the pain he's going through, like, you want to feel for him, but he's crazy. Like he's 100% insane as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we got to get into that. But let's talk about it. So, Jamani, you said you like Jeremy, you like the assassin. What do you like about it? What was your favorite parts?
I wouldn't say Jeremy's crazy. I'd say he's severely depressed. But I wouldn't say he's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Explain.
I find him what?
Explain. Come on.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. His dialogue is just funny. Especially when he had the the assassin had the doctor call him, and he's with the woman or whatever, and he's telling her to reposition her. It was very funny. Yeah, and you could more or less empathize with him, like the Nutty Professor. Him starting with the what do you call it, like the cam chats or whatever, and then the mother being like Charlie Brown's teacher or something, and eventually he goes and gets the stuff at the doctor, and then his whole life changes. But
you seem to be skipping the mass murder, but it's okay. It's okay. But it's all right. But again, he there are moments. Episode 3 was funny once he becomes her, Dr. Professor Love. Like that personality is funny, despite the fact that he's still extremely violent and he will kill again just because it makes him feel.
He is unhinged, in my opinion. He is unhinged because even in the beginning when we saw him and the way he was talking to his mother, I was like looking around the room like, who is he talking to? Like, what? And I do actually like that they didn't give her a voice. Do you know what I mean? Because I've never really seen that, except for like what Jamani said. It's always Charlie Brown, right? But when they did that, I thought that was a nice touch. But then this is clearly a grown man living still with his mother. And he set his own limitations on himself because he's so obsessed with what he looks like and how he's so obsessed with how the world views him. Instead of just embracing who you are, his self-esteem, actually, he doesn't have any self-esteem at all. And so he's like, oh, well, I look this way. So the only thing that I can get is women online and, just porn. That's all I'm, good for based on what I look like. And I'm like, there's always somebody in the world for everybody. It's like, but somehow he just doesn't love himself. And I don't know if that's bad parenting or something happened to him, but I'm hoping they get more into what happened to this young man. Why does he feel this way about himself? What, like maybe go back to childhood, just some flashbacks, go to when he was a teenager. Cause I need to know why is your self-esteem so low? Like it's in the toilet. And then when you're not satisfied with what you got as far as the plastic surgery, which was horrible, then you're going to just kill people. Like this is not, how do you go from A to Z? Like there was no in between.
He was already at Z. And I feel so, and we'll go back to Jamani. So the first episode is not, so I didn't even know this. Like Jamani explained to me, like that's the same guy, David. Like that's him in like again that like Professor Clump like makeup, and I was like, what?
Yeah, that's him.
Like,
yeah.
I thought that was a different person. I'm like, the makeup artist needs to get something for this show because that was awesome. The rebirthing was crazy. The whole rebirthing scene is so graphic that I'm like, this is so good. Yeah. Like they went practical effects and not CGI, and like it's worth all the money that when it looks that real. So I told the crew that this was educational. I didn't know what incel meant.
You did not?
Why would I know that? Like I was like, what? It was like
that is a very common term, at least on the internet. I found it to be crazy that he was called, like usually incels self-label themselves that, but it would seem like people gave him that label, at least from the story that he was telling about the girl that he showed up with the picture. He had sent the picture in advance and she was still surprised or whatever the fuck. But most people don't self-label themselves an incel unless you're married. So
well, I like again, I didn't know what it meant until the plastic surgeon was talking to him, but that's what I saw him as is when he's in the chat room. Like when I see the chats of women are terrible, they're all bitches, that kind of stuff. I was like, he's an incel. But I'm like, what is an incel? But that's what he reminds me of. And be honest, I always see them as white men, to be real. So the fact that he was like a black dude, I was like, oh, okay, like anybody can be an incel. But what does that mean? Like involuntarily celibate. I was like, okay. And then for the plastic surgeon why would you take plastic surgery from someone who looks that fucked up, obviously because of plastic surgery? Like, that was a red flag that Jeremy should have been like, no, like, you're not the one. Like, maybe I need surgery, but you're definitely not the one. But to see him just crying, like he's like, all I can do is jack off. I'm like, I felt for him in that moment. And that's what makes him a good character, because once he starts killing everybody in the hospital, in the plastic surgery facility, I'm like, you are a psycho. Like, I'm not giving you I'm not saying there's no reasons why you're a psychopath, but you are a psychopath. And this has nothing to do with the drug. This is who you are on the inside, you know, because the drug does make certain people violent, right? Like, but that's who he is, you know what I'm saying? And that doesn't change just because you look good. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still insecure on the inside. Like, he still thinks he's not worthy on the inside. Not saying that's true, but that's going to come out, you know? And he's like, I had to kill people to feel something. And I'm like, when he's like, I'm just going to kill you and kill myself, and that's how it's going to be. I'm like, you need that. He said, I am lost. Like, I am lost and I need a purpose. And I'm like, that's who he is on the inside. And I'm like, you need therapy, bruh. You need serious therapy. I thought he was going to go find those 3 girls that took advantage of him and kill all those bitches too. That's what I thought. He was like, I got their names and credit card numbers, and I'm coming to get them. That's why the series not over yet. So I'm still holding that out. Also, really, last thing, Chad Powers. I had to look him up. When he said, let me tell you what a Chad is, right? And he's like, and he brought him up. I was like, yes, because Chad Powell, I said, that's a good looking man who gets by on his looks. Because almost every movie he's in does terribly. Like, if he's leading that shit, like but he keeps on getting roles. And I'm like, how the fuck does he keep on doing it? Because he looks good. Just like Hemsworth brothers, because they look good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, he should have threw in some non-white people. It's just weird he's gave all white people to a black dude. But I was like, that name like stuck in my head. Because like, The Running Man is terrible. Like, that movie is shit. But he keeps on getting roles.
But like, it's why? Just like when Brad Pitt first started. Brad Pitt was not a good actor. He was not. He was terrible, but he was an Adonis. It was like, look at him. Yeah. And so, and the longer the hair, the prettier he is. You know what I'm saying? And still, this man is what, in his almost late 50s, almost 60, and he's still gorgeous. So you know what I'm saying? So it's not any, but we know that he has a lot of issues, right? I mean, he's a beautiful person on the outside, but he's got some issues on the inside, right? So. Yeah. Beauty does not always, it doesn't fix anything. If you can't fix the inside first, then, you know, maybe, you know, tweak the outside. But this guy, Jeremy, is just broken. That's why I really want to see, since they are kind of concentrating on the assassin and Jeremy, just give me some more of why this, I mean, I clearly see, and this is not anything against the actor. It's going to sound really bad, but he's not the cutest guy in the world. He's not, right? But to someone, he's gorgeous, right? He's beautiful. To his mother, maybe, you know, his parents, his family. And so I'm like, I get it, but I just want to know more. Like, did your mother verbally abuse you? Did your dad reject you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Did people tease you? Did you get bullied? I just want a little bit more about his background and what gave him this psychosis, basically.
And we got to get more into the assassin. So you brought up the assassin, Jamani. So I want to talk. What do you think about the assassin? Because I really love him. I love all his characters, but I really love the assassin.
Yeah, I'm like, if you want to see like some old school fighting type stuff, like it's not just, you know, bang bang shoot him up, you know, like assassin killing. He's actually, you know, fighting with people getting thrown around and stuff like that. So he definitely bringing the action. I thought he brought the action better than the Evan Peters nighttime fight scene in, what was that, episode 2 or whatever. He's entertaining, and especially the whole long dialogue or monologue that he gave in the car about Yacht Rock. I forgot the guy's name that he mentioned or whatever, but Christopher Cross, and he was like,
oh, he said Chris Cross. That's the first thing I thought of too. That's when Jeremy said,
no, it was you. No, you thought it crisscross like the
No, I did. When he said he said Christopher Cross, and I was
yeah.
like, but like Jeremy, I said,
Mhm.
I mean, I knew one crisscross, but that's what popped in
Okay.
my head. I mean, 100%. So I felt connected. I was like, that's good writing, because that's all.
No, Chris, yeah, because I watched a documentary like 2 weeks ago about Christopher Cross, the actual guy who wrote these beautiful songs, and they were so beautiful, and they still are beautiful, and he still performs them. But when people actually saw what he looked like, and it was when he went to, I believe it was the Grammys, and he performed on stage, and once the world saw what he looked like, he was rejected. His songs were still beautiful, but they were like, "Ugh, you're singing these beautiful songs, yeah." And it was just like a whole thing, and it destroyed the man's career. So he had to like kind of step back and kind of hide himself, and he lost his career basically. Like he was still writing for people,
Mhm.
because he's a really good songwriter, but it was based on just what he looked like. He lost his career for that, and that's horrible. The press was terrible to him.
Oh,
So
It was based on his looks. Yeah.
what's up, Joanne? What's up, Joanne? Sorry.
I'm like, see, now that just shows you the hypocrisy in the whole Milli Vanilli situation, because that happened in 1980, and in 1989 you got Milli Vanilli, and they get crucified for basically the opposite. You know what I mean? Well, these are good-looking guys, but they can't sing as well, and then you have a good singing guy, but he don't look as well. So it's just hypocrisy.
Well, then you got to think about the woman in CC Music Factory, CNC Music Factory, right? Because remember, like it was actually Heavy Set woman that was singing.
Yes.
So they put a model
Yeah.
up there, and they had to get called out for that. And I was
Mhm.
like, you just don't fit the bill, baby. But she and doing it. That one too, like
Yes.
No, you can't. That was pregnancy, so that kind of
no. It was weight. Like they said that it wasn't the same woman. We can agree. It wasn't
no.
the same woman.
You're talking about like the music video, because what I'm talking about is she sued LL Cool J because he wouldn't take her out on tour with him when they were doing it, and she was like, I can't do this song with a pregnant
I
woman.
meant the music video because it was not her singing in the music video.
Yeah. But
yeah,
she actually sued him because she wasn't allowed to go on tour, and that was about the pregnancy.
So women who have sex with transformed peen also becomes transformed. So anyone who has unprotected sex with someone who is infected, it's infected. So Ryan Murphy wanted this to be an STD. So.
Mhm.
So just like Jeremy, that's how he got it. He had sex with a woman who's unprotected sex with a woman that's infected. So that's how he got infected. And then Jordan had sex with a random dude. After that, if I was Cooper, I definitely would be like, hey, Jordan, we got to move on, because you just giving up the raw draws to any dude that just happens to look good in the bar. You ain't for me. Like I can't. And then even that goes to the woman at the Vogue employee who exploded, and I'm like, did you just get infected, or because it seems like it happens like immediately, like you but it looked like she was the one. I think she was long-term infected because she exploded. Like she was long-term infected, but it like messed up her body. She overheated and she exploded. But anyway, real quick with the assassin, he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
He is engaging.
Mm-hmm.
He has not fought anyone. He shot a dart at a guy and killed him, which was awesome. He was torturing the dude that got Jordan infected, which was awesome. He cut up the woman off camera. Like, and I love the fact he's like, but he's not.
No, when he was fighting when he came into Jeremy or whatever, and that's when Jeremy had to finish her off with the frying pan.
Bruh. Okay, Jamon, you just don't like Evans Peters' character, and I will let you have that, but you are not. I'm sorry, I will not sit by and let you try to say that was in comparison to Cooper's scene fighting two dudes. Absolutely not. That is nowhere near the same level of action, bro. No, like I 100% disagree.
No, I'm saying in the sense of like realisticness, like. It seemed very like the choreographing of Evan Peters' scene. It was like I was like, this looks. I can see that things are not connecting and stuff like that. It might have, looked it was a long scene or whatever, way longer than what the assassin got, but it looked like they were doing choreography as opposed to actual fighting.
I give that. It looked well done to me, and he has the build for. Again, that could be an action. I thought that was cinematic. I thought the opening scene was cinematic. For me, and I do want to see him more engaged in hand. I want to see him go up against the assassin at some point, or Jeremy if he does get trained to become what I would love. I want to see them throw hands. But it needs to be the assassin because he has more. When he said he was 61. He said certified since 1961 is what something like that, like something in the 60s when he said how you're crazy, like certified since that. I was like, oh, he's on the good version where he's stable. Most like Ashton Kutcher's character.
Ashton Kutcher, yeah.
Right. It's Alien meets Substance meets Nip Tuck. I like that. All those are solid. Body gore, yes, body horror, which is what they refer to as Substance. Intro scene. Why is this bitch so mad?
Yeah, I was like that too. I was like, what happened?
And then to the point of like they need some things they need to flush out.
Yeah. What?
They need to explain why there's a sexually transmitted version of this. That cannot be the designer version because you can't sell an STD. Like Ashton Kutcher is trying to close these lines because he's trying to sell it. Like a shot, you know what I'm saying? You can take the pill and then you get it, but that means it has to stay in the body. We need to understand how it mutated or something.
Probably somebody
not just the STD now, because at the end you see the people when the girl exploded and it got in his eye, he got it now, and they were just like incubating it and watching to see what happens. So it's like anything transfers, you can get it. Not just.
I think it's fluid transmission. Yeah. No, like if you HIV, it was in the blood, so that's why HIV, drug users were getting it because they were sharing needles. So it's ultimately in the blood. So it comes to a fluid type thing, and that. But why were they not cocooning immediately? When people take this drug, within hours, if that long, they are sweating and they are turning into their new cells like immediately. So the fact that they're all.
I think that's when it's the STD they're turning into the cocoon. I think the other way that it all depends on how it's being transmitted. So, but I'm thinking maybe too, somebody could have tried to make this themselves, and so it's not the one that Ashton Kutcher put out there. It's a different version that is killing people, and this STD is is made by someone else. That's what I think because. Did anybody kind of at first I didn't understand when I saw what is her name, Rosalini, I can't remember her first name. Anyway, when I saw Ashton Kutcher looking great and then this woman just come out of nowhere. Now don't get me wrong, she has always been a beautiful woman. She's been a model and all these different things. She's just older now. She's still beautiful, but I didn't get that was his wife.
Yes,
I was like.
Yes,
I had to watch it again to understand she didn't take the potion. I call it potion. He took the potion, and this is why he looks the way he looks. And that is his wife. And she's saying our son is in rehab. And I did not get that. I thought that was her boy toy. Like for 10 seconds, I was like, "Oh, that's her boy toy," and then completely missed that. Completely.
And that's why it's so good because you'd be like, oh, that must be his wife. Like, and again, because you know that what this show is about. Interesting that Ashton Kutcher is in this because he was discovered as a male model in a shopping mall.
Yep.
And I think they're going for so this is where I will submit Megan Turner being in this for just a split second, like being the one that got thrown out the window and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was interesting because I'm like, as much as she started off as a body, and I told me body positive artist, but pressure got to her, and she was like, "I need to look good," and what that means to her, and the transformation that she put into her. I thought it was interesting that she was willing to put herself in a show like this, having to know people would make that connection, and at least I thought that was very interesting. And this is where I would say, I thought Kim Kardashian and Tiana Taylor and Jemima and I talked about this, that they should have been in this show. That they would have fit better, especially Kim she could have played a version of herself, really, but someone who's part of her image is, good looking, good at, and everybody knows she has that plastic surgery and that kind of thing. And it would have been interesting to see her in this type of show, like at her age, saying that maybe I'm too old for this game or something like that. And she tries to take it, and who does she turn into? I thought would have been interesting.
I think that touches too close to home for her.
Well,
honestly, and this is the thing, she never hides that she's doing these things to herself, right? It's kind of like Cardi B. Cardi B right now is like telling people, yeah, I did all this stuff to change myself, but I didn't change who I was inside. So once I started changing who I was inside, then, she had already done all the plastic surgery, so she can't go back and change it. But she feels like she should have went and changed her insides first, and then if she wanted work done, she should have done it that way. So she's like telling people not to get stuff done, but at the same breath, her stomach is flat as a board after having all these freaking kids. But anyway, so I'm just saying, I think that would be cutting it too close. That would be like having Cardi B and Kim Kardashian on this show. No, I don't think that would actually.
I get you.
No.
I get you.
But go ahead.
Oh no, after you, I'll get Jemani as after you when you're done.
Yeah, I feel like it's when I saw, what is her name? I don't want to say the wrong name, but what is her name? She is a famous, the one that's Ashton Kutcher's wife.
That's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, I know her name is Rosalini. I know that, but anyway. So she is beautiful, and like I said, she used to be a model and things like that. And so her being in it is the reason why she's relevant is because she has had no work. She has had no work. She's aging the way she's gonna age, and her mother was the same way. Her mother was in Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart. And her mother was one of those people who was like, I'm not going under the knife. And she aged the way she aged. And now she looks like her mom now as an aging person. And I thought that was important to have her in the show also. To show that still a nice little woman, yeah.
All right, Jamon, go ahead. I saw you.
Yeah, I'm like, as I mentioned to you off camera, like, yeah, when they do the transformation, it looks very familiar or similar to the Fade video by Kanye West with Tiana Taylor, gyrating on the floor and whatnot.
So thank you for that segue, because I have to admit that was my first time seeing. Jemani sent me that video, and that was my first time watching it like this weekend. I know that was like the kind of one to put like Tiana on the map, and I was like, I told Jemani, I don't know if I would, if they would have been brave enough to do it, I would have loved for Kim Kardashian to play a character that she takes the drug and turns into Tiana Taylor. I would have been like, yeah. It was like, what is your best self? And it'd be like, I would have been like, yes. I was like, that would have made sense to me. It also gave me Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy Nutty Professor vibe as far as the body morphing and trying to fit. Oh yeah, absolutely. And Jeremy, and I don't know if Ryan did this on purpose, but he is definitely Eddie Murphy's character, like in Nutty Professor. But now he's permanently Buddy Love. And I was thinking that we're gonna find that the science is like, it's all about the adrenaline, like it's making them hot, it's cooking them, and then that's what's making them aggressive and violent and strong. If they try to put the science into it, that's where that's come from.
It's like it's cooking them on the inside.
Yeah. But again, we're seeing the people who have the unstable STD version, and to the point of story progression, I would have liked if this would have evolved into an STD. Like, for the fact, I feel cheated that it already started that way, but to be like, oh, we have a handle on it because it's a shot or something, and now it's mutated into this new thing, and the more it mutates, the more unstable the infected get. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a progression because the infection reactions do vary, clearly. Some of them are immediately violent, some of them immediately change, some of them can go a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, and some of them almost like die immediately. You know what I'm saying? So like, we don't know how do we get to these different variants.
Can we say that this is Dahlia 2.0?
I don't. Okay, so we haven't seen Ashton Kutcher's like whatever the real drug is, you know what I'm saying, like what it's supposed to do, then maybe we can go that route. Like the drug to beat all drugs. Like, this is gonna be the Ozempic and all of them. And the fact they even mentioned Ozempic directly, I thought that was interesting. But to be like, we're putting the whole weight loss industry down, all the cosmetic industry is down. We will control all of it. Will be also, so the assassin. So with the closed captions on, his name is Antonio. But we'll say for officially, we don't know his actual name. Christopher Cross referencing the yacht rock scene. Yes, Chris Cross was not pleasing to the eye. The Vogue employee liver was 180 degrees 10 hours after exploding. Like, they are extremely hot, which also reminds me of Iron Man 3 with Extremis. Actually, it's Beauty, Ozempic, and it's all the side effects. You mean Megan Trainor? Yes. It was apparently Ashton Kutcher and his wife aren't having sex, or is not affect them like an STD version. So but he was, getting pleased by another younger woman. So, and he wasn't worried about transmission. Again, if he's trying to make money off of it, it can't involuntarily transmit to someone else, because that's a customer that they don't have. So somehow maybe it's the base version that dead employees stole was somehow that easily transmitted, and they've perfected it to a point that it's more stable, and you have to take drugs or something. But
I think the lab tech, jailbroke it like an old school iPhone or something like that, like make it more transmissible, whereas the original drug is just a 1-to-1. You take it and it only affects you. But to what Kim was saying, I think that this is kind of crazy that you have the substance, and that's about what that's about. And then Ryan Murphy says, hey, I want to do something similar. Let me go get her ex-husband to be a part of it.
Oh, all right. I see you, Jemani. Don't know if that was a big coincidence, but I like that. I like that. Let's see. Off topic. Did y'all review No, we did not review The Long Walk. I think that's the Stephen King movie.
That movie was pretty good.
Chris loves. Well, he loves Stephen King. Anything. So if you would like for us to review it, let us know. I think it's on Max. I think I can stream that one. So if you'd like for us to review it, let us know and we can add it to the list. This is a good pullback. Lovecraft Country also had body morphing of a black woman changing into a white woman and turn that I said. Yeah. I love that scene. I was like, what, the first transracial, transgender, interracial relationship. And to your point, if this drug could do that, that's 100% next level. Like, because that you can be whoever you want to be. If they can make a drug where you can be whoever you want to be, because let's talk about Jordan, right? Mm-hmm. So Jordan is not. I mean, the only thing we knew about her was that she was insecure by her breast size. Common, she got breast augmentation. Common. Mm-hmm. How did the drug impact her? Clearly, they make her skinnier. It made her slightly younger. It looked like a slightly younger.
It's not even the same person. Like, I was like, she looks completely different. Like, this is a different actress. Like, and I was like, oh my God, how did they do it? It just completely transformed her into something else. And I think that that's part of when she said that she was happy with getting her breast done and that's all she needed. She has the confidence, obviously, because she just kind of sleeps with anybody she feels like, which is fine. Not slut shaming. She does what she does. But but then now she's changed into this completely different person. And I think in her mind, that's not what she wanted. She does not want to be someone else. She wants to be herself, but she wanted her breasts to look a certain way. And once that was done, she felt complete. So I think this is going to come into her story. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think they're gonna,
I'd be interested to again see what Cooper does when he does catch up with her, because he does care. Jemima and I were talking about this, and I do agree. Spending a little bit too much time on the love story between them, the intimate relationship was only relevant because it gets to the breast issue. Like, to be like, oh, you changed your breast, and that, but the general hey, be cool, we're just fucking or whatever. I'm like, I'm not sure what this has to do with a bigger scheme of things. Let's just trying to give the characters depth. But I mean, again, it'd be interesting to see where this goes. But Giovanni, I want you to get a chance to get on the record. What do you feel about the love story between the law enforcement?
Yeah, I think it's just too drawn out. Like, they have this long post-coitus conversation or whatever, and I'm like, unnecessary. If they're gonna be the cops or the investigators on the case, keep it like Scully and Mulder, science fiction-y, X-Files, and just the facts, man. And go to the medical examiner, go to the scene of the crime, whatever, and do it that way. And if whatever happens between them is relevant to the story, show that and do it later on in the season. Like, they just like front loaded the whole series with their casual, what do you call it, sexual
Friends
relationship
with benefits.
Yeah.
With benefits, which Ashton
Well, it's
Kutcher
even
started
more
with.
friends than benefits because they work together. They're partners. So, yeah.
You used to have, these are different relationships, Jemani. Like, if you like, they're gonna be partners either way, but they're also friends with benefits. I'm saying these are not, they're not intertwined. I mean, they can be exclusive, in independence. I'm saying.
I'm like, they're independent, but I'm saying you're still sleeping with
your partner.
So
I don't. My only problem with it was when they were in the bar and she was like, "We're gonna keep this casual, right?" Like, nothing out of Cooper in that moment had me thinking that he was like, "Is this gonna go somewhere? Like, can I put
No. You know what? You know why? Okay. So what he did was what you shouldn't do. He was like, "No, let's not go anywhere. Let's just stay in the room and be together." She was like, "Not." You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to cuddle. She's like, "No, we had sex. We're done. Let's go outside." He was not like that. He was saying he wanted to stay in and basically cuddle with her. That's not what this relationship is about. It's about having sex, enjoying yourself, getting off, and let's go back to work.
No, that was episode 1. I'm talking about episode 3 when right before the guy, which is one, disrespectful. Like, if I'm sitting with a woman and you just show the wine and then just come over, like, who the fuck? You don't know what's going on here. No, I'm talking about that scene. Like, they were just sitting there. They were just sitting there, and I'm like, and she's like, "Hey, I just want to make sure we're just fucking." And he's like, "I guess we're just fucking." And then somehow she acts like Terry saw it different. Terry saw that she was catching feelings, and then he pushed her back. And I'm like, no.
I saw it the other way. Yeah.
Right? Like, if anything, she's kind of and then she was like, "Thank you for letting me know we're just buck buddies, so I can go have sex with this random dude." I'm like, one, that was your idea, so I'm not even sure that what we're doing. It was irritating me. Like, that right there, I was like, we're just trying to give her a reason to sleep with this random dude. But the fact she had unprotected sex with this dude, I'm definitely Cooper needs to move on, because she just giving up to anybody. Like, purples are forever. Like, it don't transform you.
I'm like, this show could have made it a little bit more interesting and, still cover the bases that they used to cover in the 1990s when HIV was fairly new, which is, hey, we use the condom, but the condom broke. Like, what does it hurt to do that?
Yeah. Just anyway, what's up, Kim?
Yeah, I feel okay. So this is what I feel. She has all this self-esteem, right? And when a woman is feeling herself, right, and it's like, and you feel very sexual, and you feel like, I look good, like my breasts look perfect, my stomach is flat, my ass looks good. You start throwing it, I'll do this, I'll do. And the problem with that is that we don't have to do that in order to make it's making us feel like we have to throw it at men and then actually go through with the whole sexual thing for us to feel like our outside matches our inside, but we're strong. We're strong women. And, even though I look like this, I'm throwing it at you. I gave it to you, but I can move on. My feelings and that kind of thing. And I'm like, why is she doing all of this? But that's what it is psychologically. Is she's boosting herself up, right? But why would you sleep with this dude with no protection if you are in a sexual relationship with your partner? Like, What's wrong with you?
I don't. Yeah, I'm just like, you don't. Just, and then I thought, so I was not. Oh, I was not okay with that. I wonder if Jeremy Pope's character will remain a non-gay character, especially with this being a Ryan Murphy production, and all of his roles with Ryan Murphy has a gay edge. I mean, I think he's like queer in real life. So I see your point.
Wait, who? Jeremy?
Yeah.
Wait, Jeremy is the guy from
Jeremy.
The Assassin.
No, Jeremy is the black guy.
Jeremy's the black guy. Oh, what? Really? You think he's gonna be gay?
Well, no, well, I mean, he is gay. I mean, real life. So I mean, like, you don't know, like, if he's gonna be like, I'm just gonna give it to everybody. I mean, right now he's with women, so he may change. But I see what you're saying. I don't know. But I just want to say, Jemima and I were talking about this. Evan Peters, I was just saying that he was like the Michael B. Jordan for like Ryan Murphy, but then Jemima pointed out,
that's Sarah Paulson.
For a woman, I'm saying from a man perspective, like the go-to man for him is Evan Peters. Like it seems like
sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised Sarah Paulson doesn't make a cameo. I just feel like for no damn reason.
Yeah,
like,
for no reason. Yeah, he throws her in everything. She is in anything and everything. Yeah.
You got about 10 minutes to stop by. It's because, if I eat, you eat. And I'm like, and I if you will. Was that the guy who was hanging upside down, about to kill by the one with the female detective? Yeah. That was the guy that had sex with the female detective. I had to surmise that. That's why I believe he was, because he was like, you're out here giving it away, and you had a gift, and da. So yes, I feel like that's the same dude, even though it wasn't very clear. Also, I don't know how Ashton Kutcher / the assassin knew that Cooper and Jordan were looking into these investigations, and why was they only trying to kill Cooper and not trying to kill Jordan? Like, if this is, we don't want you figuring out what's happening. There's a horde of law enforcement involved in this now, and the CDC. So I don't know why they sent 2 assassins at Cooper. The assassin sent 2 assassins after Cooper, and again, not Jordan.
Because I think you got to remember the sequence of events is that Cooper leaves we call it like the bar, whatever that's in the hotel or whatever. And then that's when he gets attacked, because that's when they separate. So if she had left the hotel, then she probably would have been attacked. But she never left the hotel. She just went back upstairs with that guy.
But then if they would attack, they could have got him and her, because he's also on the kill list, because eventually he gets killed. I hear it just seemed weird that they were so focused on him. And I was like, why? Like, and why didn't they send? Anyway, yeah, I just thought they should have tried to kill them both. But anyway, I like, again, I like the fight scene.
All right, so wait, what if it's divide and conquer? It's like, hey, we're coming to get you tonight. We only see one of them. Well, get that one, and then we'll get the other one whenever they come out. It's easy to just get them one by one, as opposed to as a pair and have to fight, both of them combined.
Well, again, if this is about stopping the investigation, they should have killed the French detective or whatever that brought them in on the case, because she's connected all the pieces. Like, she's seen the other victims and how they exploded.
Yeah.
And so she's really should be the main person that they're trying to knock off. And because Cooper and Jordan are just the Americans really involved in this, and they haven't cracked any major part of this case that they know more than she does.
But I think that it's a matter of what the assassin said is, we're trying to prepare for this IPO, which I'm sure is the American stock market. And, what does whatever the investigation in Paris or France or whatever isn't going to really touch America, but the FBI investigating will definitely, alert the FTC or whatever have you to affect this IPO stock price and all that type of stuff.
Well, if the CDC is already involved, so the medical people, it's not just murder. Like, they're not looking at this as some kind of terrorist cell that, that has people blowing themselves up. Like, they know it's some kind of disease. They're already tracking that. So it only makes sense if those were the 2 only investigators who found the model, and they've been the ones connecting the pieces. And now it makes sense, because they're the ones who are trying to convince everyone that people are just magically exploding because of something. Like, 'cause that's a crazy theory. Like you tell me there's some kind of RNA based, sequence that's causing people to explode. I'm like, I need a real doctor at this point. In fact, where's the doctor? Like, where's the FBI or French doctor to be like, we studied this shit and there's something here, right? You know what I'm saying? Because to do that, you got to patent it, right? You got to patent the drug, which means there got to be some kind of results, some kind of test results that they put out there to be like, oh, wait a minute, this looks just like this, or this a bad version of it, or something. Like there needs to be somebody on the medical board or somewhere like trying to help Ashton Kutcher keep a rap on this.
This is a Ryan Murphy show. They don't. They're not going to get that deep. When we talk.
No, it's Kim Kardashian's coming. She'll be the lawyer. They'll take care of it.
Oh my God! Absolutely not.
And Glenn Close, they were like, "You want the drug?" She's like, "No, I'm beautiful the way I am because my husband's already passed." I'm gonna be like, crossover. But no.
But Glenn Close has already had plastic surgery, so
she's like,
that ship has sailed.
She's like, "Hey guys, I know." I was like, "Dude, like that, damn, like it's hard."
I think only one on that show, All's Fair, who hasn't had plastic surgery is Niecy Nash. She's the only one.
Or at least good. At least she had the good ones. So.
Yeah. You know, after I said that, I just thought about her boobs and her butt. Yeah, and her stomach. She might have had a little tweaking.
A little tweak. But again, I love the scene at Vogue. Like, it was just so funny, with the corporate, like, oh, like he's only eating the little vegetables, and they're talking about losing weight. It was a great scene. And it's like, why are we even here? But like once Megan gets thrown out the door, it's like, oh, like this is the thing. So you never know how these little characters are gonna pop up. But anyway, let's talk about predictions. So Jamani, what do you want to see to happen as this season progresses?
Some more, assassin adventures. This seems like a very international show, so I assume they'll be going all over the world, killing people to contain this leaked version of the drug. Maybe the drug will have more mutations, like the subject matter they took it from, the substance, where you can have two-headed people and stuff and whatnot. Let's see how the drug evolves and people, it affects people and stuff like that. Because now people aren't just getting it sexually; you can get it, fluid transfer. You get splashed in your eye, and like let's see if somebody's at an amusement park or something, they explode, and everybody there is just within that within the field of explosion, and they get it on them, and you got a whole mass crowd of people transforming or something. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that you could do. I have no idea how they're gonna land the plane or end it, or as long as they don't kill the assassin and let Jeremy ride out to the rest of the season and give me some more of the Ashton Kutcher backstory and why his wife doesn't want to take it, or did his wife take it, and that's just as good as she can get from after taking it. I don't
know. And her name is Isabella Rossellini.
She could have looked like Shrek and then took it, and that's what she looks like now. You don't know.
Results may
vary. Okay. Well, yeah. Isabella Rossellini, that is her name.
Okay.
And like I said, she's aging. You would think because she's been a model and an actress that she would have had some plastic surgery, and she's not. And I think Ryan put her in this move and in this show for that reason, because she has not altered herself. So, but anyway, what I want to see is, like I said, more in-depth talks about what's going on with Jeremy. Like what happened to him to make him he's a psycho. Like he truly. And then the assassin, I love him in anything he does. Like he was in Hamilton. I fell in love with him in Hamilton. And then there was this show that me, you, and Stacey actually did on HBO. I can't remember the name of that show. It was a singing show. Like it was like a lot of songs, and it had the Latino girl who was with the white guy, and they had the kid.
That bullshit. Yeah, I remember. That was
Yeah.
It was HBO. I think I was Stars.
And it was
That was
one of the
Stars.
guys. It was one of the guys that was in. He was in Hamilton too. He had the
Yes.
curly hair, yes,
Yes.
and
The
he
light
wrote
skinned
the
dude.
show.
Dude.
The
I
light
think he
skinned
played,
one.
Thomas Jefferson. He played Thomas
Yes,
Jefferson.
yes.
I know what you're talking about.
So I like Luis. I think his name is Luis Ramos. I love him in anything. He's wonderful. And what got me though is that they had him singing. They had because he's a singer.
Oh, that's
And I
right.
was
That's
like,
right. They did.
yeah, and I was like, this is corny, but it's the right amount of corny, right? It's just the right amount. So I want to see more about him. I want to know what happened to him. As far as his eye, I want to know where that scarring is coming from, and I really enjoying the show. So I just want to expand the story, keep it going, and tell us what is happening. How did it go from an injection to an STD? I want to know how that happened. So.
Yeah, that was good. Let's see, we got Jay. That's as good as it gets. Speaking of that could be why his eye's still messed up. Regeneration doesn't give you new body parts. Like maybe he lost it before the shot, and I can make you younger, but I can't grow you an eye.
Right.
She was in Death Becomes Her.
She was, and she was walking around naked, and at that time she was like in her 40s, and her body was slamming, and I was like, wow. And then, now she's much older, so yeah,
she can still be naked. Demi Moore said, "Don't matter. Age ain't nothing but a number."
That's right.
Internet used Indianapolis as the location where the bad serum was found with the Asian body butcher. All right. Then I knew that. I want to see how this drug was created years ago before back when the one-eyed villain was the age that he is now. David, yes, I did get your email about the Tubi movie Twin. I was gonna write back to say we can put it on the list. Jamani also has a Tubi movie that he wants us to do, so we can have a Tubi weekend next weekend. We can do that. We can do that. No, not a problem. Twin is good. Was good. There you go. So we got two.
I actually added it to my list yesterday.
And I did not forget you. Review it! ! We will review it. I will. You asked for it. I appreciate you guys. Engaging with us like that. And I will make sure Chris is available because I know he loves Stephen King stuff. So if he can do it, then we will put that on the list. And we will finish the series out weekly, however they put out the episodes. Because it is a great series, and I want to see the next. I want to see the next episode and see how it goes down. I'm hoping, to Jamani's point, that we get some. It devolves to the point that they're basically like the Walking Dead. Like they transform, and it's just like a horde of them, like just trying to like go crazy. Like it gets to that level, right? And or something because I feel that's what they're escalating to. Like that's the only thing that could amp up, raise the ante at this point. It's just a horde of people just ripping, themselves, other people apart. And they're all beautiful. You know what I'm saying? They look great, and that would be awesome.
And then they all explode in the middle of the street.
Yes, just like pop, and it's like shoot them. We don't have to, but don't take it to the substance level. Like they went too far with that shit. I was like, what are we trying to? I was confused. I'm
like, remember at the end of the substance, she was, what do you call it, doing a New Year's Eve special or whatever, and she exploded on the people, just like how.
But at least this makes sense. Like he grounded such a unrealistic world. Like it makes sense even now. Like substance became art, and I say that I acknowledge that it turned into like just an art piece, and I like with no thought whatsoever about how this looks like in the real world. But he's trying to keep it grounded of like how this stuff happens, and there's going to be investigations, there's going to be consequences. And
I'm like, don't you think you would have to do that if you're doing a series as opposed to
a movie?
So because you want to keep it going.
I get you. No, I get you. Grotesque.
Grotesque was not. Oh my god, I tried, and that had Niecy Nash. Yeah. And I really tried to watch it, but it went off the rails, and I was like, I can't watch this. It was unwatchable for me. So this is way better. This is way better than that.
All right.
I still love All's Fair. So
Yeah, hey, and I told Jemani, listen, I don't want to do it. I don't want to argue. I don't want to argue.
What
But
about protest? I mean,
no, all's fair. I was like, this is better. But that's what. Anyway, well, we're gonna say goodbye so we can get to the Copenhagen test. So we'll see you next week. Thank you guys very much. Again, stay warm and stay safe, and we'll.
I will say thank you guys very much for hanging out with us. I see people watching us, people in the chat.
I enjoyed the view very much. I don't know what the fuck I was watching.
Rewatch this. Rewatch this when we're done. Rewatch this. You'll see what we're talking about. You're gonna be like, oh shit,
Hilarious, absolutely hilarious.
You'll go there.
Stacey, do your thing. Fuck that shit.
Anyway, please like and share and comment on the video and all that kinds of stuff. As they say, we're just gonna end this broadcast and say bye.